Think you know everything about being a master thief in Skyrim? Well, here are 15 game-changing tips and tricks that you probably didn't know. I guarantee there's at least one you haven't heard of yet. From exploits and advanced stealth techniques, you'll be outsmarting guards and making a fortune in no time. So let's jump right in. Forsworn Briarhearts can be a tough enemy to fight in Skyrim. But did you know if you pickpocket the Briarheart out of their inventory, they instantly die? This is because the Briarheart in the inventory actually serves as the NPC's heart. And the cool thing about this is you can actually see where the Briarheart was located in their chest cavity. Sneaking can be incredibly slow in Skyrim, but if you unsheath your weapon, you'll move faster. But there's a way to move even faster than that while sneaking. You're going to need to go to the block skill tree and get the block runner perk. And then with the shield equipped, if you hold block, you will move way faster than you did before. And then if you want to sneak even faster than that, you can sheath and unsheath your weapon repeatedly to move even faster while sneaking. Did you know your companions in Skyrim can pick locks for you? First, you'll need to give your companion a lockpick and then ask them to do something. After that, you're going to need to find the lock that you want picked, and then you're going to select that lock, and depending on their lockpicking skill, they may or may not be able to pick that lock. You can sometimes get a 0% chance to pickpocket somebody, but did you know if you use the paralyze spell on them, even with a 0% chance, you can still take the item. All you have to do is wait for them to start moving after you paralyze them. This next tip is a bit controversial, as some players believe it to be true and some players believe it to be false. However, the tip is, if you're picking a lock, the lockpick actually breaks in the direction of the sweet spot on the lock. So for example, if I break the lock and the sweet spot is to the right, the lockpick will actually bounce to the right as it's breaking. But I'll let you guys decide on whether or not that's true. If you ever find yourself in a well-lit cave or dungeon, just look for any torches on the wall and take them. This removes the light source from the area and makes it easier for you to sneak around. If you want to sell your stolen items anywhere in Skyrim, you're going to need to get the Black Market Power from the Black Book Untold Legends. After that, you'll need to get the Fence perk in the Speech skill tree. This perk allows you to sell stolen goods to any merchant that you've invested in. But for some reason, you can't invest in the Black Market merchant, however, you can still sell stolen goods to him. We all know that when you get arrested in Skyrim, your stolen items are confiscated. But did you know in every jail there's an evidence chest where your stolen items are kept? In order to get these items back, you'll need to pick a master lock, which can be quite difficult. But once you do, you'll be able to retrieve your stolen items. Did you know you can pickpocket anyone without getting a bounty as long as you don't take anything from their inventory? So essentially you can walk around and pickpocket everyone and browse their inventory to see who you want to steal from next. So if you're in an area where it's difficult to steal an item, all you're going to do is hold E on the item and that will let you carry it, and this won't count as stealing it, and you can actually drag it back to a safer area, that way you can steal it. If a merchant keeps spotting you while you try and steal from their store, all you have to do is grab a pot or a kettle or something similar. And then if you hold it and place it over their head, it'll actually block their sight. This will make it a lot easier to steal for a short period of time. Did you know you can stash all of your stolen items before being arrested? And then after serving your time or paying the fine, you can go back to the chest or barrel or whatever you stored it in, and your stolen items will still be there. If you have a bow and arrow, you can shoot the arrows at the ground and the enemies will search for the noise. You can use this technique to lure enemies through a dungeon, killing them in their own traps. If you have stolen items that you want to keep, all you'll need to do is find a fence. Once you do that, you'll need to sell them the item and then buy it back to remove the stolen icon. Before we move on to the last tip, go ahead and leave a comment down below on how many of these tips you knew so far. If you've traveled around Skyrim long enough, you've probably seen these symbols on the outside of shops. The game never actually tells you what they are unless you find a certain book. This book can be found in the Ragged Flag and Cistern if you're part of the Thieves Guild. The title of this book is Shadowmarks, and it shows you what each of these symbols mean. Some of the symbols tell you if there's dangers ahead, if it's a safe house, or if there's valuable loot inside. So these symbols can be invaluable to a thief. In my latest poll, I asked viewers if they had any tips they wanted to share for the next video. Dadbro said, tell people about the cap on heavy armor. There is one on magic resistance too. I bet a lot of people waste valuable enchantment slots because they think they are being a tank. I didn't know this was a thing, so I went to the Skyrim wiki. And it turns out it's true. It says in Skyrim there's a maximum armor cap of 567. And he's also right about there being a cap on resist magic as well. It's capped at 85% according to the wiki. If you guys have any tips and tricks like this, go ahead and leave it in a comment and you may be featured in the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.